Welcome to Tales of National Oddity with J. Mac Mingo Books. Tonight, we follow directions no one should ever follow. Tale 1. The Midnight Market Map. Oregon is full of secrets, fog-thick forests, coastal towns that shut down early, trails that locals warn you about without ever saying why. But none of those come close to the maps. They first appeared in early spring, taped to lampposts, bus stops, traffic signs, always late at night, always gone by sunrise. A single sheet of thick, bone-colored paper, old-fashioned font, dark ink, edges slightly burned as if rescued from a recent fire. At the top, in looping handwriting, Midnight Market, one night only. Below that, a hand-drawn map, rough lines, crooked arrows, a few forest landmarks, a circle marked with a little lantern icon. No directions, no address, just a path. And at the bottom, if you're ready to trade, follow. Most people ignored it, thought it was a joke, a viral stunt, some indie art thing trying way too hard. But the ones who followed the map, they all told the same story. Because the Midnight Market is real, and it doesn't sell trinkets. It sells impossible things. The first confirmed encounter I could find was a grad student named Emily Varr, who thought she was walking into a normal pop-up craft fair. She followed the winding path from the map, deep into the woods outside of Eugene. The deeper she went, the quieter everything became. Not peaceful quiet, but that wrong feeling kind of quiet. Like the birds weren't hiding, the wind was just holding its breath. She found the clearing at exactly 12:03 a.m. Not a minute earlier, not a minute later. Inside it stood a dozen market stalls. Not tents, not pop-ups. Old wooden carts. The kind you'd see in a medieval painting at a museum. Lanterns hung from crooked beams, burning with flames that flickered blue, not orange. And behind each cart someone stood waiting. But they weren't vendors. Well, not exactly. Emily had said their shapes shimmered, like heat waves on pavement, constantly shifting between silhouettes. Human, not human, human again. When they spoke, their mouths didn't move. Their words just appeared in your mind, soft, warm, impossibly calm. The first stall sold jars of rain from storms that never touched earth. The second offered keys to doors you haven't opened yet. The third sold old memories, but not yours. Someone else's, someone long dead. Emily asked what the prices were. They smiled, or maybe they didn't, she couldn't tell, and pointed upward. The prices were written in the sky. Not money, not items, not objects. Trades. Things you had to give up. A childhood dream, a future desire, a long-held fear, a name. One vendor offered Emily a silver box that could hold any truth you're not ready to hear. The price? Her reflection. She declined the offer, mostly because she didn't understand what it meant. At least not then. But she wandered the stalls, and she looked, and she listened. At the end of the night, she bought nothing. Or so she thought. Because when she woke the next morning, a lantern from the market was sitting at the foot of her bed, blue flame still flickering, a note tied to the handle. A trade has been made. Emily hasn't cast a shadow since. Not once. Doctors can't explain it. Scientists don't believe it. And Emily refuses to say what she saw at the last stall. The one she swears wasn't there when she arrived, but stood waiting when she was ready to leave. The only quote I've been able to find from her and verify is this: "If you follow the map, you won't come back with what you think. The market always takes its price." Since then, more maps have appeared across Oregon, always hand-drawn, always burned at the edges, always pointing to nowhere visible on any GPS. Every time one shows up, someone vanishes for a night, returns the next morning different, missing something intangible. A voice they can't mimic anymore, a laugh they can't repeat, a memory they can feel but not see. One man lost the ability to recognize his own home, but he could perfectly describe every stall in the midnight market, even the ones Emily never mentioned. Maps keep appearing, the lantern flame never dies, and the market, it only opens when it feels like opening. But the worst part isn't what it sells or what it takes, it's this: every person who's been to the midnight market says the vendors already knew they were coming, already knew their names, already knew what they wanted and what they feared. As if the map appeared just for them, but from them. A trade they made without even knowing they agreed.